We are having exams all over the year.
Okay. Talking. Now, good afternoon and welcome back. And whoever has joined, we have to start the class. So, yes, we don't know praying to any God will help you in your finals or not. What will happen to the final exams? But for now, I can say be prepared, because be it final exams or be it any kind of class test, I am going to catch hold of all of you. Okay, I'm going to be the strict teacher and I'm going to catch hold of all of you. That is my policy. Now in geography, we will be going ahead.
My mother is a very strict teacher.
Oh, good. We are going ahead with wind energy now.
My versus KKR math is very useful.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay. Last day we completed hydroelectricity, which was again a form of renewable energy. We learned its advantages, we learned the disadvantages. Okay, learned advantages and disadvantages both we have discussed. Now we are coming to another form of energy which has also been used in many ways by us in simpler terms, but then what we can say is that in a more advanced way we are using it after the invention of something called turbines. Okay, so what kind of energy am I talking about?
Wind energy.
Wind energy, absolutely. I am talking about wind energy. Now
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I was reading in the book, so is the hydroelectric dam's reservoir all the water stored behind it? A dam's reservoir?
No, yes. First is the dam's main slope and the gates are there, and behind that means behind that there is a big reservoir in a dam, and that reservoir stores the excess water. Now they leave the water every day, a little bit of water is left so that the river doesn't dry up in the lower course. In the lower course, the river shouldn't be dry. So every day some water is released. Now during rainy season, when there is too much of water, till a particular point, the reservoir can save the water. But if there is excess of rainfall, then they have to open the gates, which leads to flooding, because already a lot of rain is causing high levels of water in the rivers. Then added water from the stored reservoir is going to increase the chances of flooding and leads to devastating floods. Okay, sometimes. So that is one disadvantage. But advantage is storing that water if it's a dry season. Okay, very dry, drought, rain is not taking place. Then if you leave the water in the reservoirs, then the river has water even during dry times, and the people in the lower reaches can use that water. Okay, now we come to what happened. Why is this not writing? Oh God. Yes, wind energy, a very important form of another form of energy which is renewable, and this wind energy has also been used by us for many years. From simple things, when you put your clothes to dry, what are you actually expecting? On what day do you think the clothes dry faster? On a windy day or a
windy summer day.
A windy summer day, absolutely, on a windy summer day. So the sunlight, solar energy, wind energy helps in drying your clothes. Now, later on, wind energy has been used in a little bit more an advanced way after the invention of turbines. Have you seen pictures of turbines? Do you know what are turbines?
Yes, ma'am.
They are motors which get pushed.
Yes, absolutely. Wait, let me stop sharing
Like
here
the
and
giant
let me show you
windmill.
a picture of a turbine. Let me just share in Google.
It is like the giant version of windmill.
Absolutely, it's like a giant version. Just let's just see wind turbine.
When the wind energy, the windmills move, these turbines also move and generate electricity.
Absolutely. See, it's like you will see this. You will see. Oh, I'll come to this question first. Can you see these are turbines? Now the wind makes it move, as this rotates, this is on a rotating platform. Okay, now as this rotates, it has at the bottom, you have electric motors connected to it. Okay, it makes those motors and turbines run, and it helps in generating electricity. Many times when these turbines used to, you have heard about windmills. What are windmills? What did the mills do? That times the mills used to use
water.
And the
right. The
mills generate
windmills,
mechanical
they
energy.
used to run, the wind energy used to make the blade rotate, and when the blades rotated, the pump started working and it used to pump out water. Sometimes in mills, many times when the turbines rotated, it made a machine work, and that machine was used in grinding, you know, from wheat to flour. Have you seen grinding machines? Have you ever seen any of your grandma or someone puts and then they turn that thing at home and they make it into powder?
I'm like
It is
jata.
atta, that is wheat. Wheat
Jata.
to, huh?
Jata.
No. They have a round, what is it?
Yes, ma'am. Jata kore hatir jode. That.
Okay, yes, if you just turn it, you will see that it converts the grains into powder. So windmill, the word came from there. So in these mills, there was turbines like this, and these were there. So these spikes used to rotate, and it made the machine go. Instead of human labor, the machine used to make it rotate, and they made flour. They made flour from it. Okay, so now wind energies, what are the plus points? If I ask you once again, 1 minute, wait. What do you think are the advantages of wind energy?
It doesn't cause harm to the ecosystem.
Absolutely, it is eco-friendly.
Friendly.
You can say it in a simple way. It's an eco-friendly way. Somebody can also use the word non-polluting. You can use the word, definitely you can use the word non-polluting. You can use the word eco-friendly. Whatever word you can find any other word to express yourself.
Non-polluting wind.
What?
Eco-friendly and non-polluting disappeared from your screen.
Eco-friendly and non-polluting. Oh, it disappeared from my screen because the participant list opened. Okay, so eco-friendly, non-polluting, these are definitely there. Along with that, any other advantage of wind energy?
Doesn't need labor.
It is on renewable source.
It is absolutely. It is a renewable form of energy, and it gets regenerated every other day. No matter how much you use it, it will never finish. You can never, finish wind energy. That wind energy is no more there on the world. Then people will not survive. Wind will always blow. But still, we do not depend on wind energy a lot. It is used in a very less amount. Can you tell me why?
Wind energy doesn't blow always. Sometimes its flow is high.
Right.
So,
Wind doesn't flow
It's
always.
unreliable. We can create wind energy.
Does not flow with constant speed all the time. Very, very, very important. Wind does not blow with constant speed, all the time. Sometimes there is no wind movement. It's very sultry or very light wind. Now, to generate, sometimes wind energy can be converted into electrical energy or to run machines. But for whatever it is, the wind vanes, the spikes of the windmill, it needs to rotate at a particular speed. For that, you need wind to blow at a particular speed. Wind cannot be very slow. You need fast wind. You need uninterrupted winds, blowing for a long span of time, only then the spikes will move, and then it can make the turbine rotate, and then it can generate electricity or help in running any machine. But wind is not dependable. So if I twist the question a little bit and tell you wind energy is not dependable, justify, then you can use this reason. It is also there in your book, page number 64, that although wind is clean, it's a non-polluting form of energy, but wind does not blow with equal force all the time. This line is very important. So if I just twist the question and ask you, it is the same answer. Yes?
And when we were reading the chapter industry, there was a point for the ideal location. It needs an uninterrupted source of
Supply
power.
of energy. If there is good supply of energy, yes. Now, another question is, another way of asking this question. So same answer, okay. How to present it as per the question? One, if I tell you what are the disadvantages. One, if I tell you wind energy is not dependable, justify. Another thing, if I ask you in a little twisted way as an application form, that is, why do you think windmills are located mostly in coastal areas? This is one question. You know, you find windmills are very common. Windmills and all, they are very common in open grounds or coastal areas. Can you tell me why?
Because there is wind power thereby.
The wind is not blocked by high
There is
It is not blocked by high building.
Uninterrupted wind.
uninterrupted, steady
Wind supply.
wind flow in coastal areas. There is uninterrupted steady wind flow in coastal areas. Oh, I don't whiff. Wind flow in coastal areas. So because and where is the wind? Usually in sea, there is breeze during the day, which we call the sea breeze. The wind blows from the sea towards the land. And at night, we call it land breeze. The direction of the wind changes and wind blows from land towards sea. But there is always uninterrupted flow of, or you can write, even if you don't use the word uninterrupted, you can write steady flow of wind in coastal areas or open grounds. Even in open grounds, open areas, like the country of Netherlands and all, they use this. Even another place, though a little bit dusty, but even in desert areas, there is quite uninterrupted wind. But we don't find it being used a lot. More common is coastal areas. So you will see Gujarat, Maharashtra, all these states. There are two reasons, why Gujarat, Maharashtra, you will see in Rajasthan, that is a lot of western states. On the western side of India, they use wind. There are two reasons. Number one reason is because, of course, if it's the coastal location helps in uninterrupted supply of wind. Another thing is, in the western side of India, a lot of coal is not found. Coal supply, coal as a resource, from coal, you get heat energy. That heat energy is converted to electrical energy. But in western side of India, coal is not found. Coal deposits are not there a lot. So, they use other forms of energy. They sometimes use hydroelectricity, sometimes use wind energy, and solar energy sometimes is used. So they use these forms of energy more often. Also, coal is a heavy material. So it takes a lot of money to transport coal. But in the eastern side, in the Chotanagpur plateau of India, coal deposits are found. Have anyone been to Asansol? Have you seen colliery?
Many times.
If you go there, you will see the colliery this side.
I went to
Anyway.
Bokaro.
Yes,
In
yes,
Jharkhand.
Jhadia, Bokaro, all these are there.
I have actually went to many coal mines in Jharkhand.
Okay.
And actually, my mother works in a place where mining machines are produced. So she
Oh.
goes sometimes to places where mining happens. So
That
once
is
she
very
went
good.
to
Quick answer, Shambid. Mining machines are produced. Capital good or consumer good?
capital good.
Very good. See, this shows you, if you have understood, you can answer any question. Capital
I
good
also wanted
industry.
to one thing.
Yes. Tell.
Ma'am, she once took a photo of a coal mine and showed it to me. It was like all the coal, like usually we imagine coal black, but all the coal there
It's
were
not
totally
black.
brown.
Ah,
It was brown.
Yes, yes,
There
yes.
are other types of coal.
There are
Anthracite,
West
four types
Bokaro.
of coal.
It is
There are four
in
types
West
of coal.
Bokaro.
anthracite is the has the highest caloric
Best
value.
quality. Yes. When we
Has the
come to
highest
coal,
caloric-
when we come to fossil fuels, we'll discuss this a little bit. So wind energy, as I said, coastal areas. Now the wind farm, you can underline it in your book in page number 64. The wind farm in Mupandal in Tamil Nadu and the Jaisalmer wind park in Rajasthan are among the largest wind farms in the world. So India has one of the two largest wind farms in the world. Okay, so one is Mupandal in Tamil Nadu again coast. Okay, Bay of Bengal side. So lot of wind flow is there, uninterrupted wind flow. Another one is in Rajasthan. So you can see that. So again, dry area, desert area, not too many trees. Population is also less. Even buildings are a blockage to wind. But when these are less, wind can flow at a proper way, uninterrupted way for a long span of time. Okay, this is one thing. Next, we come to another form of energy, which is very important. And nowadays, it's gaining a lot of importance. It is called solar energy. Now, if I ask you, last session, the children did a project that India's potential in renewable energy, and many did, that India has a lot of potential in solar energy. Why do you think so?
Because India is located, south of India is located in the torrid zone. And gives
Very
solar
good.
energy through the year.
Very
It is
good.
located in the Tropic of Cancer.
Absolutely, because India is a hot country. It is located in the most of India, rather half of India, as to say, especially southern part of India. It is located in the torrid zone. We get direct sunlight for 6 months of the year. Means for this, during the summer season, we get a lot of solar energy located in the torrid zone. And even the part that is not in the torrid zone, they are also quite warm. You will see that even northern India, because it is very close to the torrid zone, it gets ample amount of heat. It gets ample amount of sunlight.
Also is close to the equator.
What?
In half of India is also close to the equator. Countries in the middle of it.
Close to the equator. The southern part of India is very close to the equator. Yes, Pandan, what is your question?
Ma'am, can you please check the chat? I have written something.
Okay, 1 minute. When this must come, chat. Most convenient source of electricity are solar panels, as we get unlimited sunlight in the daytime, and even at night the solar panels are fully charged. This means we do not have to worry about load sheddings and even electric bills. Well, yes. Nowadays, man has made one.
But solar panels are so expensive to install.
Very
Ma'am,
expensive.
And wait, I'm writing solar cells. This goes
You
once,
have the
this goes, and it
bankrupt.
cannot rent. Yes. What are you saying? Okay, solar cells, and you are talking about solar panel. Yes, solar cells and solar panels are two very good invention. Now, solar batteries, we talk about solar batteries, which are basically using sunlight. They are being charged in sunlight, and then they can be used for various purposes. True, absolutely true. But the amount of heat, see, Earth receives a lot of insolation. This is true. Now, whatever insolation is reaching the troposphere, that is also, though it is much less, means what is coming to the exosphere, only 50% of it actually reaches the Earth's surface. But that is also a lot. Where is the problem? The problem is in two things. One is, number one, the solar energy is not equally balancedly spread throughout all the places of the Earth. Some places of the Earth receives more insolation while some places receives less. What will people living near the frigid zone do if we are only dependent on solar energy? What
We
will
won't get any.
they will have to suffer a lot. Then you can say, what will people, even in temperate zones or during winter season, when days become shorter, when you are not getting a lot of direct rays of the sun, then enough amount of insolation cannot be trapped. But again, I cannot deny Spondon's point, because man is intelligent. If someday someone invents such a form of solar panel or such a form of solar battery which can once take the energy and keep it stored for a long span of time, then it's absolutely all right. Then you have problems like cloudy days. You sometimes have cloudy days. The sunlight is not equally distributed throughout the year also. Some days when it is rainy, cloudy, there is no insolation in the morning also properly received. How will the batteries charge? So once again, solar energy is, the plus points are very similar. It is renewable. It is a clean source of energy. It is very easy to, solar batteries and all are not very expensive. Rather, what I can say is not very expensive in the sense, first, initially when you put a solar panel, it is expensive. You have to spend some money to buy that solar panel. But once you install it, it can give you return for a long span of time. Ma'am, when I went to Purulia, I saw a street light which stored solar energy, and at night it exactly. During the day, even in Ushagram, you did not go to Ushagram. Okay. Ushagram, we show children this. There's a light in the girls, in the house where the girls stay, and the boys, they come there. So we all have dinner and lunch together. It's great fun. So there in Ushagram, there is a light post which uses solar energy. Now see, of course, you can use solar energy, but as I said, technology is not good enough so that the solar energy can be stored for days. If we invent more modern technology, more modern machines that can convert solar energy into some other form of energy, like solar energy, very good. Solar cars are coming up now. Solar cars and all such things are also coming up now. Okay. One more thing, this is important, including diagram, that is a solar cooker. Solar energy have also been used in cooking. Okay. Why does this go away? Do you know anybody seen a solar cooker?
Yes, ma'am. It is black from inside and it uses a glass covering.
Absolutely. A solar cooker has a glass and it is colored black from inside. Once again, see, we not only teach you this, we give you live experiences of this, which COVID has stopped. So,
we do whatever we can for storing the
Surface trap
solar
most of the
cooker,
heat.
well, when in class 7, actually class 7 students are taken to Auroville. When you go to Auroville, so there is a solar kitchen there. Okay, it only uses solar energy to cook food.
We are very
Rivan, you can
unlucky.
ask your brother. Your brother will be able to tell you something about it, right? Your brother went now? Rivan? Rivan seemed lost. Yes, Rivan, your brother went though. Yes, so you can. I don't know if I'll see. But I don't have the pictures of the cooking things and all. So when in class 7 you are taken to Auroville, when if now to COVID has stopped everything, but otherwise when you learn this by seeing it there in Auroville, all these different forms of renewable energy are shown to you. There are places in Auroville which uses solar batteries, then solar kitchen, and children are taken there for lunch. You get to eat food which is completely cooked in solar cookers only. And solar cookers are colored black from inside. Now, why do you think so? Why?
The maximum absorption of the solar heat.
Black is
black absorbs
Maximum absorption.
Very good. Black color absorbs more insulation. Black color absorbs more heat. When you wear, have you ever tried or have you ever heard your parents telling you on a very sunny day, summertime, wear light colored clothes, don't wear a black dress, though I am a personal favorite, I like black a lot, but have you heard that let's wear light colored clothes, not black or dark blue or something like that? Have you heard this?
Yes, ma'am, they say me everything.
They tell you,
in our home.
you know, wear white,
black color.
wear white colors,
Because the water
light
will be
colors. Because light colors reflect.
in our home. They say not to wear black colors so that bad spirits don't get provoked.
That is the spiritual thing, but the means those, you see, these myths came from scientific reasons. What are the scientific reasons? We live in a hot country, so light colors reflects. You know, it reflects back or sends back the energy, but black or dark colors, they are good absorbers.
between or and dark.
So the
They
people who are
absorbs the heat. So black is the best absorber of heat energy. From sun, what are we getting? Not only light, we are also getting heat energy. Hot. So temperatures are rising. So black is the best in absorbing heat. And when the inside of the solar cooker is painted black, when the solar energy is, you will see this diagram in your book. In page number 64, if you see this diagram, there is a mirror here. So sunlight falls on the mirror and all the light is reflected inside the cooker. So inside this box, which is black in color, the entire energy is absorbed. Now when you put your utensil to cook inside, with the things to cook inside the solar cooker, it cooks easily. There is no problem faced in cooking at all. Now, solar energies, of course, are that is why now solar energy, wind energy, these are non-conventional, renewable, but non-conventional. Why non-conventional? Because we are using them in a proper way recently. In future, if we can make more use of them, then slowly someday it will become a conventional source. But because we are using them recently, they are called non-conventional sources of energy. And India as a country definitely has a huge scope if we Indians can really use the amount of solar energy that we are getting in a proper way. If we can invent technologies to suit, then you know, it will help us a lot in solving many of our energy requirement problems.